Welcome to the podcast. Today's topic, revenge body, fitness after divorce. And our guest is Melissa Vogel of Melissa Vogel Fitness. She has been doing this fitness thing for over 20 years and is a certified personal trainer and group fitness instructor. Melissa created Busy to Bomb Fit Mom to help busy moms get back to being fit through mindset work, vision, and balance, combined with proper nutrition and exercise. Melissa has an amazing podcast called the Bomb Mom Podcast, which I've been on, and she's got a variety of guests and topics on that podcast. Melissa, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you for having me on.
Well, now you know I've titled this episode Revenge Body, but let's be real. Most women who are going through divorce are not going to get so fit after their divorce that they have this perfect revenge body. Because we know divorce is stressful and those emotional effects can lead to bad eating habits, bad activity. Okay, so my title's kind of clickbaity. You get that. But I really want to talk about the reality of getting fit after divorce.
Yeah, it's true though, because in a way you do want like a revenge body, but it's more like a revenge for yourself, of like a revenge for like, that didn't work out so hot. That marriage didn't end up how I had planned. And now I just want revenge of my life and take back control. And when you're going through something that stressful and that hard, it is so easy to just have your ankles grabbed and taken right under. And you're like, two things either happen. One, women either lose like an insane amount of weight. I talk to women all the time and they're like, yeah, after my divorce, I dropped like 30 pounds, but it was just a lot of like muscle and I just got skinny. Or the exact opposite happens and women are like, I gained 30 pounds after my divorce.
Right. Well, I know that there are probably a lot of divorcing women who have kids that they're putting first, and that's, of course, got to be a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But there still needs to be a priority around themselves as a person, right? Can you talk about how important that is?
Absolutely. And we're very concerned about the kids when going through a divorce. We want to make sure that there's the least amount of trauma happening, a least amount of drama surrounding them. We don't want them to get dragged into things and conversations and hear things. And that's really tough. But at the same time, if you just pour and pour and pour into your kids and protecting them, girl, there's no one protecting you. That's one thing that's really important for women to understand. And I know you can relate to this. Like, no one's coming to save you. You got to watch your own back. No one's coming to protect you. No one's coming to say, hey, look out. And if we don't create time and space for us during this extremely stressful time, it will take you over mentally, physically, spiritually, like emotionally. And then what you were trying to do and trying to be a good mom for your kids, you end up doing the exact opposite. And you become, honestly, the worst mom and the worst version of yourself for your kids.
Well, it's like being on the airplane when they say you got to put your own oxygen mask on first before you help someone with theirs, right? So if you aren't okay with yourself, you're not showing up as the best version for your kids. And they learn by what they see, right?
Absolutely. And if they see, and this is programmed deep into them. Oh, we go through a hard time. That's when we start eating out a lot. Mom stopped going to the gym. Subconsciously, that's programmed into them. Oh, when I go through a stressful time, this is what we do. They learn that behavior. And kids are going to go through stressful times in their lives, like it's going to happen. You want them to see like, mom was a boss during that time. Mom took control. It was hard. It was stressful. I saw her cry, but I also saw her rise. That's the message we want to pass on to them.
Right. Well, fitness can seem like a really unattainable goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that many women going through divorce maybe never lost the baby weight, maybe gained some weight through the process of the marriage ending because of doing emotional eating and things like that. And so I know that thinking about getting fit for many of our listeners might seem like that unachievable goal. So where can they start when it comes to maybe losing some weight and working toward that goal of fitness eventually?
Yeah. And it's so hard too, because you think I have to find a new place. My funds are limited. I don't know the future. The last thing I'm thinking about is getting fit during this time. And I'm telling you, it is the best and the most important thing that you could focus on during this time, because every time you go for a walk, put a video on, just create space for yourself, you are helping yourself through all those stressful times that are coming. They're coming, or you're going through them. And again, if you lose yourself, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder. And yeah, a lot of women facing divorce, I mean, let's be real, it's probably one of the factors that led to divorce is that they gained a lot of weight. And I hear it all the time. They're like, he didn't find me attractive anymore. He ended up cheating on me with someone younger, and then that already hurts. And now they're like, what? Now I'm supposed to find the time for me? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And you have to find the time and create space for yourself, for you and only you. And that is so important. I recommend this to every single client starting off, no matter how deep in the hole they are or not, is walking. People underestimate the power of a walk. It's huge. It helps you start to be consistent. Yes, it burns calories, absolutely. It starts using muscles, but that chemical that's going to be released every time you walk just a mile, and those endorphins are going to lead you to progress, and you're going to start seeing progress. You'll be like, oh my God, I just started walking like 6 days a week and I'm down 1 or 2 pounds. Boom, that progress motivates you. And then you're like, well, what would happen if I start doing some squats every single day? Okay, let's try it. And then you get more progress, and then you feel even more, motivation, and it just leads to everything. So, first steps, I'm not kidding you, is literally first steps in walking. Start showing up for you by just a daily walk.
Well, as a non fitness person myself, right? I'm not in the industry, but I know as a regular person how hard it can be to get motivated to do the exercise,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's going for the walk or going for a bike ride or full on going to the gym. But I also know that once I do it, afterwards, I'm like, yes, I did it. And, you've got those endorphins. You feel so much better. You accomplished something that is a
Yes.
really, really good something. And so to me, just getting started there with just do it, just do a little bit of something is so important.
It really is, and it's hard. The hardest steps for the whole fitness journey, everything is literally putting on those leggings, a pair of socks, and tennis shoes. Like, it's not getting out the door, it's not getting in your car, it happens at home. And it's true, it's for anyone, whether you're into the industry or you're not a fitness person at all. That's the first steps. And if you can just do that and keep the promises you make to yourself. So if you're like, I can do 20 minutes. I can do 20 minutes. I'm not asking myself for an hour, not even 30. I can do 20 minutes. Then you stick to that. You stick to 20
Right.
minutes, you set a timer, and when it goes off, you come back home, or you watch and you come back home, or you stop what you're doing. And it helps to build up that trusting relationship with yourself too, because then your mind and your body will know, okay, she said 20 minutes, she sticks to this, we can do that. Not going, oh, I made it 20 minutes. I feel good. I should keep going for 40. No, not yet. Stick to it and build that relationship up with yourself again, because going through divorce, I guarantee it probably got built down. You probably lost yourself and you don't even trust yourself anymore.
I'm so excited that you said don't go beyond the 20 minutes because my first thought when you were talking about be consistent, 20 minutes every day, 20 minutes every day, I was thinking, oh, for myself, I would then be like, I can do 30 minutes. I'll do a little extra but you're right. There is something about making a deal with yourself and sticking with that and being consistent before you try to really go for it.
It's going to help you show up again and again, and just set a time frame for yourself. Like, maybe it's just a week. Okay, I'm going to do this for 1 week. And then if I feel like I can do more, then I'll extend it another week. There's been several times where I just didn't feel like it. I'm like, Melissa, go to the gym, 30 minutes. I don't care if you feel better. And then you get out and you finish the rest of your day with the kids or whatever. And I got there and I'm like, ooh, I could keep going. You turn around and you go out, because right now our focus is on not lying to ourselves, sticking to what we said.
So I know people are always talking about mindset, and especially mindset and fitness is something that I'm interested in. What can you tell us about that?
Oh, it goes hand in hand so much. And this is like the big thing that no one talks about. It's not part of the fitness industry. I go to the gym and I see trainers training women all the time, or in a group or whatever. And that's great. But I know they are not talking about their self-love and their self-worth and what they're saying to themselves during that workout. And it's so necessary. And along with mindset, it's everything that happens in here, right? Like that's mindset, how you speak to yourself, how you feel about yourself. And after a divorce, we're feeling pretty crappy. While we're going
Mm-hmm.
through it, we're questioning everything. And I'm telling you right now, if you try to just force fitness and you just try to go to the gym and you use it as a punishment, your body's going to start looking at it as a punishment. And we don't look forward to punishments. We like stay away from them. We want a loving relationship with our fitness. And the first thing that you can start doing is looking at your workouts, your walks, whatever you want to name them, your time away. Give it a name. Is this is benefiting me because this is helping me in this way. I feel this after. Start having that positive connection. But if we don't begin to do like the therapy, the proper self talk, the true self love, not like standing in the mirror being like, I love myself. No, I mean like the real self love, it's going to backfire and you won't show up. It won't continue. And we're all about consistency, right? Like we want this to be like a long term thing. And over time, as you work on that mindset and how you're viewing your workouts, not, oh my God, I have to do this because I have to check a box off, or, oh, I got to go here because I got to look good for him, if in case I run into him. It's not going to last. But the more you love yourself and you flip that switch, and it's going to take a long time, you will find yourself working out while on vacation. You will find yourself showing up at 5 in the morning. And one day you'll be like, who the heck am I? Like, who am I getting up at 5 in the morning? I've never done this before, but I'm worth it. And I know I'm worth it. So no one's going to stop me from missing this workout. But too many people right now, they push it and they're like, oh, I got to get up. I have to do it. Oh, I paid for this boot camp, so I have to go. And then it's just a little flame and it fizzles out. And there's no, like, I call it like the head and body connection. The mind is the general, the body is the soldiers. And whatever the mind tells the body to do, whatever the general tells the soldiers to do, it's going to do it. So if the mind's like, we love this, we're worth it, the body's going to go, okay, got it. But if the mind's going, God, you're such a fat piece of crap and he didn't even love you. So why are you going to love yourself? Your body's going to go, okay, hear that, boys? We're going to stay with this 20 pounds on. It's so powerful and connected, but people don't talk about this.
Those internal messages are so
Mm-hmm.
powerful. And I think, especially as women, we have a tendency to repeat negative messages to ourselves over and over in our minds. I know I'm guilty of doing it.
A lot of it is programmed into us from like early childhood and we don't even know it. Especially like with birth order, if you had sisters or like, group of cousins all grew up and we get labeled. We're like, oh, you're the smart one. You're the pretty one. She was the athletic one. I was the kind one, or I was, the one with the biggest heart. So I could never be the athletic one. That wasn't the role I was given as a child.
Mm-hmm.
So as an adult, later on, we always think, oh, I'm not good at running. Oh, I can't lose weight. Oh, I've tried everything. Nothing works for me. And that is stuck. It takes a lot of work to start undoing that. So you can take that wall down and learn to love yourself in a new way.
You talked about consistency a little bit in terms of fitness, and I kind of want to talk about consistency in terms of diet. Because I know that when people start on a fitness goal, of course, nutrition is really important. And they start out with a plan and they start eating a little bit better and they do some exercise and they lose some weight initially. But it gets really hard, especially if they hit a plateau.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about consistency and staying motivated.
Yeah, consistency, it's huge. It's key. It really is like the secret sauce. If you want to know how to change anything or how to have success, people are always like, Melissa, how do you do it? I'm like, it's being consistent even when I don't feel like it. And with our food and our nutrition, it's the same thing. We have to learn to get off of the roller coaster of depriving ourselves, going on a diet, or, on the weekends, I let everything go, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I just eat whatever I want. And then I get back on track. That's not being consistent. Having good days Monday through Thursday and then crashing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, yeah, it could be consistent, but it's a bad consistent. We need a good one. And once you show yourself and you prove to yourself, like, oh my God, I can make it through a weekend without binging. I can make it through a weekend without drinking 3 bottles of wine, over the whole time span. Like, it is possible. I do have that power. It makes it so much easier to continue to show up. But people don't give it enough time to see the power of what's happening. They think, oh, I walked for 3 days and I ate 3 salads. Why is my body here? Why aren't I getting results? And I'm like, that's not being consistent. We're talking like over a month, 2 months, 6 months, 3 months. And your body's not dumb either. It knows it and learns your patterns too. So if you're not consistently eating breakfast and your body doesn't know when it's going to get fed, it's going to hold on to fat.
Hmm.
Absolutely. You have to, again, build that loving relationship. And breakfast is a great way to start with that too, because your body, once it knows, like, I know she's going to feed me. I know every day at this time or around this time, I'm going to get this meal. Okay. Okay. She wants me to lose fat. Okay. Okay. I can do that because I know she's going to feed me. But our body will go into like scared mode and think, I don't know when she's going to feed me because she's so inconsistent. And it's so important to just make sure that every day, did I get enough protein? Did I eat at least 3 times? And did I drink enough water? Like, keep it really simple. Give yourself like a little chart, just mark off a box, mark off a box, mark off a box. And that will lead you to having the habits of being a consistent person. But it's not going to happen overnight.
Okay, so I stay consistent. I go 3, 6 months, staying pretty consistent on this plan, and then I plateau. How am I going to stay motivated?
Yeah, plateau is real. So just plan on it. Like, no, it's going to happen. And it's not a true plateau. Like, our metabolism is designed to catch up with what we're doing, right? So, like, if you eat ice cream every single day, like, you just start tonight, and every day I have,
Okay.
a bowl of ice cream, a bowl of ice cream, a bowl of ice cream, and you just do that every single day. In the beginning, is it going to show? Maybe. Maybe at the end of the month, you might be up a pound, maybe. But are you just going to continuously gain weight? No, your metabolism's going to go, I get it. Okay, I get what you're doing here. Adjust, boys, and your metabolism rises, decreases, whatever it needs to do, and it stabilizes. So your body will do the same exact thing with everything else. Like, it learns, and then what we call a plateau. But it's very easy to break that. So once you plateau and you're like, oh God, okay, I've been stuck here forever, you just need a shake up. You just need a change up. And it really is easy to do. You map out, what have you been doing? You've been walking every day, and now we're at a plateau. You lost 7 pounds. Awesome. And now you're at a plateau. Put on a weighted vest. Grab 2 3 pound weights and take them with you. Shake it up a little bit. Maybe you go 2 times.
See, this is why we need to work with someone like a Melissa Vogel, because when we get there, we don't know what to do. They're going to have all the ideas. They're going to be able to. I'm a big fan of working with a nutritionist who can
Mhm.
help you know what to really do, because there are so many messages out there about food, which leads me into asking you, these extreme sort of diets, whether it's super low calorie, or you can't ever have carbs in your life ever again, or you're only eating meat for the rest of your life. I mean, talk to me a little bit about how those diets work, because people are like, yeah, oh yeah, I cut out all carbs and I lost a bunch of weight real fast. What's the deal?
Well, sure. But just like I said, you change things up, you shake things up again, your body's going to respond. So when people are like, oh my God, I totally did keto and I lost 10 pounds. Yeah, no, duh. You probably actually just started paying attention to what you were consuming. You weren't just eating blind all the time. Yeah, not surprised. Or people be like, "Oh, I signed up for this boot camp and I started doing this and I lost 20 pounds." Yeah, no duh. But the extreme, the problem is you can't maintain that. You
Right.
cannot be in a state of ketosis your whole life. You can't. We need carbs to survive. We need fat to survive. And you always want to look at like we're just going to say diet for lack of better words. You
Mm-hmm.
always want to look at your diet is something like, can I do this for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, back away, because there is always a way to just eat better, eat healthier, have balance, but not have to be restrictive. And you can still lose weight. It's just finding that balance between what we're consuming and what we're burning. And I don't cut out ice cream. I had brownies and ice cream just last night with my kids, and we watched Dirty Dancing. Like, they're old enough now where they can watch it. I'm like, movie night. And we had brownies and ice cream. Absolutely. And it's
Yeah.
important for kids to see that too. It's important for my kids to see me eat my beautiful dinner filled with greens and protein. And it's also important for them to see me eat ice cream and brownies. I can sustain that.
You can eat anything so long as you don't eat everything, right?
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so as we are kind of wrapping up things, I know obviously people are going to fail from time to time in this quest for weight loss or fitness. We're going to backslide. We're going to have to start over, all that kind of stuff. But I know that you like to say that failing is actually important.
It is. It truly is. And even in your divorce, if you want to look at it as like a failed marriage, awesome. Because you know what? That failure is what's going to set you up to learn and grow. We cannot get better with our health, our fitness, our body, all of it, unless we have failures. And I'm coaching women through this all the time, because those moments of weakness, those are times where we get to analyze all the data. You know, if people are like, oh, I failed and I went through McDonald's drive-through last night and this is what we got. It wasn't a failure. Look, what happened before that? Well, it was a busy day, didn't have time to prep. She had no game plan in place. She actually was a little dehydrated. See, you didn't just be like, screw it, we're going through McDonald's. There was a lot of things that led up to that. So now this quote unquote failure is giving us a lot of information. Look how successful you could have been if you just would have drank a little bit more water. Okay, now we can prevent that in the future, but you cannot grow. You cannot become amazing. You cannot drop 30 pounds and put on muscle and have that revenge body and just look incredible unless you fall flat on your face on the floor and get back up. Because then you go, okay, what made me fall? How can I relearn? And all this can be applied through your divorce and your next relationships and your self-love and your self-growth and all of this journey. So whenever you have a setback, whenever you have like what you're going to consider a failure, no, it really isn't a failure. It's just a stepping stone. It's a natural part of you learning and becoming just this incredible female and mom.
Oh my God, the amount of value that we have just packed into about 20 minutes is insane. You know that the Find Me the Money podcast is really about money and divorce, but I'm so committed to having other topics on because there's so much that goes into the process of divorce. I'm so happy that you came on and did this because this fitness stuff is really important. So tell everyone where we can find you.
Oh, absolutely. On Instagram, follow me at It's Melissa Vogel, ITS Melissa Vogel, and my website is melissavogelfitness.com.
And of course, we will have it all in the show notes because we want everyone to be able to find you with ease. So thank you again for being here with me today. It was so great to talk to you again.
Thanks for having me on, Tracy.